Kingpin has been a very big reason for poverty. This is because the common mwananchi, as they have a kingpin, the common mwananchi has never enjoyed the benefit of a kingpin, because these kingpins, after being kingpins, they also become economic kingpins, not just political. So they collect rents, they become like cartels, they become like brokers. So they collect money on behalf of their communities, and this money not trickle down. Even if you talk about devolution, this money still sits in the hands of kingpins, because they determine who wins an election in a certain region, who becomes an MP, who becomes a governor. If you decide with me, you win an election. If you don't like me, you lose an election. So all this has not helped us. Let me tell you that the main cause of poverty and tribalism is kingpinship. When we talk about the issue of kingpin, like now you hear Mount Kenya is searching for a kingpin. Will it be Rigathi Gachagua? Will it be Chungwa? Will it be Ndindi Nyoro? Will it be Maina and Njenga? Name those names. Who knows? That is the main discussion here. I can tell you that even in Luo Nyanza, this has arisen with Raila's journey towards AU. People asking, who is the next kingpin after Raila Odinga? When Raila Odinga eyes AU and becomes one, who will be? The Kamba nation has always been safe in the hands of Kalonzo Musyoka for some time. They are very happy that Kalonzo Musyoka is still alive, so Kalonzo still claims to the kingpin of the Kamba nation. Because Alfred Mutua tried, I think he went away with some parts of Kamba, but still people believe that most of the Kamba nation sits pretty under him. Also, you see, the Loya nation has always been seen as confused now, because they don't have a special kingpin, because you have to find Moses Wetangula here, you have to find Mudavadi there, Malala here and there. So those are all confusion. Even if people like Oparanya are also being seen as the kingpins of Luya nation. So that's a question there. But let me ask you, the question that you need to be asked are the following. What has the role of the kingpins helped in the economic development of these communities? For example, among the Luo nation, among the Kamba nation, are Kambas richer because they have a kingpin? Has the kingpin of Kikuyu helped Kikuyus rich, or Kikuyus have been a hard-working nation? So that question needs to be answered. But then how has the existence of these kingpins united Kenya as a country? Because we find that Kenyans are still very divided, yet you have a kingpin. Why didn't these kingpins come together and unite the country? Or their interest is not that we unite, their interest is that we divide. And then the other thing is that what about the smaller communities? Like you find, for example, the Turkana, for example, the Ogie community, the communities in the Mijikenda, the Taita Tavetas, the Pokomos, the Ormas. How comes for them they will never ever even see leadership in Kenya, because they are small communities, so either they have no kingpin, or even if they have a kingpin, it will be irrelevant if they become one. So to the first question, kingpin has been a very big reason for poverty. This is because the common mwananchi, as they have a kingpin, the common mwananchi has never enjoyed the benefit of a kingpin, because these kingpins, after being kingpins, they also become economic kingpins, not just political. So they collect rents, they become like cartels, they become like brokers. So they collect money on behalf of their communities, and this money not trickle down. Even if you talk about devolution, this money still sits in the hands of kingpins, because they determine who wins an election in a certain region, who becomes an MP, who becomes a governor. If you decide with me, you win an election. If you don't like me, you lose an election. So all this has not helped us. The second thing, the kingpins have caused a lot of tribal clashes. And of course, if you take the post-election violence of 2007 and 2008, anything to go by, mark my words, that time Kibaki and Uhuru were the kingpins of Mount Kenya. At that very time, Raila Odinga was the kingpin of the Luo nation. And that very time, William Ruto was the kingpin of the Kalenjins. So when Raila Odinga lost the election, the Luos felt that they must have lost this election because the election was taken away from their kingpin. So they caused violence against the people from, let's say, the Kikuyu community. And in the same breath, William Ruto, who was with Raila in the same party, also caused chaos. And so many people died in Rift Valley because it was the kingpin of the Kalenjins. The question of Madawadawa came in, and they started now evicting Kikuyus. The Kikuyus lost their property. They lost their lives in this same equation. And then, of course, because Kikuyus were losing their lives, they also had to go to their kingpin and ask the kingpin, what will we do? So Uhuru Kenyatta, being the kingpin of Mount Kenya, also responded. And you saw what happened. People died. So many people lost lives. So other communities also started losing their lives, losing their livelihood and business. So you can see how the kingpin was at the center of devising a country into different tribal cocoons. Was it necessary? Why didn't the kingpins come together and sit down and say, now that we are kingpins and the country is burning, how can we bring it together? It only took Kofi Annan to come outside the country to quell the fire which was happening in our country. So this explains to you why you can even find that lack of kingpin, for example, from Turkana, we didn't have a kingpin. The school and education went there very late. Turkana is behind Kenya in terms of economic development because the first schools that came in went to Turkana. The first schools that came was here in Kabete, Lower Kabete, where Kenyatta went to school, and that's why Kenyatta became your first president. So it tells you the danger of a kingpinship. So what I'm trying to ask here is very clear. And this is my call. I'm giving a call to the National Cohesion and Integration Commission to declare that the term kingpin is unconstitutional. And also, the use of the word of kingpinship is equivalent to ethnic violence, because it's been used to really bring ethnic violence. Because people say, you want to finish our kingpin. Actually, the National Commission National Cohesion and Integration Commission should actually declare this term one of the terms that can be used actually to bring disunity in the country, and it should not be used. So we are giving the National Cohesion and Integration Commission a maximum of 30 days. If they do not come out and declare that this is a term that will destroy the nation, we will offer a petition to Parliament so that this discussion of kingpinship can be discussed in Parliament and should be declared a term that should not be used. And anybody who has ever declared themselves a kingpin should therefore be arrested and be taken to law and face the law, because that's not an official position. We know that in this country we have a constitution, and the kingpinship is not the constitution. So using a kingpinship as a position to mop emotions among different communities and make them fight will be considered incitement and hate speech. Thank you.